name is Darlene. Welcome to Standstrong, a fun, educational, inspirational, and motivational show about people overcoming life's obstacles.
Hello, welcome to Stand Strong. I'm your host, Darlene Louf, and I'm really excited about today's episode. Today we're going to be talking about healing through the expression of art. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our guest, Leah. I'm sorry. Please
Constance.
Thank you, Leah Constance. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our show. I'm very excited to share your story and your journey. Can you tell our viewers at home a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I always laugh because I'm like, where to begin? There's so much to say about the services I offer and what I do, but essentially I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I have a specialty in expressive arts therapies, and then I have another section of my business that where I call myself an inner wisdom cultivator. So essentially it's bringing the healing of arts into other areas of people's lives, but not in a psychotherapy context.
Okay,
Yeah.
You said healing of arts.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain a little bit, like, what form of arts? What exactly do you mean when you say healing of arts?
Yeah, I know. It's a big concept, and I think the world is still navigating that, actually. I still navigate that on a daily basis. But essentially, I feel like a lot of people experience profound either spiritual or insight-building moments when they're creating art. So whether that's through music, through painting, through writing, through creating, I think TV shows have a lot of artistic components to them as well. So that's what I mean when I say healing through the arts. It's really about building insight, learning more about yourself, learning more about your community. I think there's a big community aspect as well.
And what drew you to this type of artism?
Yeah.
Artism.
Yeah. I love that word, actually. It's a great word.
you.
So when I was a teenager, I dealt with a lot of depression, anxiety myself, and art really is what I think saved me. And I hear that time and time again from people, whether it was listening to like their favorite musical talent, sometimes just observing art or being present with art is really healing for people. You don't necessarily have to make art to experience the healing benefits, right? So for me, that was a big way that I dealt with my own struggles at the time. And so when I decided to go to undergrad and get my degree in psychology, someone said to me, hey, have you heard about art therapy? It's a thing, bridging art and psychology. And I thought, oh my God, that's perfect. No one's ever told me about that. I need to look this up. And so that started my path to becoming an expressive arts therapist.
And how long have you been an art therapist?
It's a great question. I have to remember when I graduated. I think I graduated in 2009. So,
wow.
Yeah, so since 2009. But even before that, my first internship in undergrad, 2005 was at a psychiatric hospital doing art therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Wasn't licensed at that point, but I was working in the field.
So you look kind of like an intern,
Yep.
type thing at the time.
Yep.
What type of things do you do? Is it painting? Is it music? Is it oils? What type of things do you offer?
So traditionally, expressive arts has 5 modalities: writing, music, drama, movement and dance, and then visual art. So in grad school, we learned how to adapt a little bit of all those to utilize with our clients. But I find that the few that are the most accessible for people are writing and visual art. I find for people it's much more vulnerable for them to move or to dance. That's really, I think anything where you're really embracing your body is a bit more vulnerable for people. So I find that writing and art are really the 2 most accessible. Most people have paper and a pen throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how when people contact you for or interested in what you offer, is it more men than women? Is it even? What type of people search out for art therapy?
Yeah, that's a good question too. You have great questions. I think it. So I actually predominantly work with adults, which surprises people because I think a lot of people think art therapy is really for kids, and I really love being able to kind of break the myth around that, because I find that with adults we are pulled out of our creative process, that society pulls us out of that at a very young age, and yet I really believe it's what we need to continue to thrive in a world where society's always saying you can't be yourself. So I find that I work primarily with adults, primarily women. I think there's also a stigma that we're trying to break around men coming into therapy as well. So I find that I do work with men, but it's predominantly women.
And what types of things do when you have a client come to you and sit down and discuss, what type of art therapy is it? Is it painting on canvas? Is it reading? Is it, what type of therapy what's the most common therapy that you offer, that you do?
So back to my comment around the accessibility, it's typically visual art and writing. Again, because I think I like to teach people tools that they can bring into their life outside of working with me. And so that's why I think writing and visual art are the most accessible for people. That's not to say if someone, like I do have some people that are musicians that actually bring the music they create in to session, and we talk about that and we process that, because there are tons of therapeutic themes that we all know are in lyrics. That's why we vibe with music so much as humanity. So I'm not opposed to bringing other modalities in. It's really totally up to the individual and their artistic lens.
What is the most common? Do you paint? I know you said writing, and that would take paper, obviously.
Yeah.
But do you and your clients paint on canvas? Do you? What exactly? When it comes to painting? How do they express with painting?
So I offer a wide range of supplies, and I actually start by asking them to trust their intuition. So if they're feeling really drawn to canvas, great. If they're feeling more drawn to a very small piece of paper, great. If they're feeling drawn to really big paper, awesome. I think the big thing is allowing them to lean into their intuition and picking what resonates with them in the moment. And then oftentimes we start by talking about what's happening in that week for them, what themes that they feel really important to process through art, and then thinking through how to put that down, literally, in color, shape, texture, and then they create, and then we process about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there any one specific part of your art therapy that you enjoy more?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I feel like every moment, there's something really powerful about every moment.
In the course, when we first met, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, it's okay.
When we first met, for those of you that might be a little interested in how I decided to have her come on the show, is I contacted her for therapy, art therapy, and I did painting. I was a body canvas. And can you talk a little bit about what exactly body canvas is?
Yeah, I know. So just to be super clear, because I have to do this ethically, the work that we did together was definitely an expression of art, right?
Absolutely.
But ethically, we can't consider it art therapy because that is under the separate part of my business, which is psychotherapy. So, it's frustrating that I have to talk about that, but I do, because it's important for viewers to know that you're not a psychotherapy client, but you were a body canvas, and this other part of my business is a separate project. And essentially, I started to get this feeling around wanting to paint people and wanting to go into body painting and wanting to be able to help them share their story or have a healing experience through art. And I thought there wouldn't be a better way to do that than to paint someone's body, like their literal body, and think through their wounds and their own evolution in being human. So that's how I thought of starting to body paint. And you were such a great sport in saying, I want to be a body canvas.
I enjoyed it so very, very much. And it's a shame that it's not considered part of healing, because it really did help me. I wanted to do it because I'm so tired of the stigma in the world of people body shaming people because of their size or their shape or whatever. So I have come to accept and appreciate who I am through trials and tribulations of life, and realize this is who I am and I feel good about it. And that's why I did it. I think it's amazing. How do you define healing?
Yeah, you have the best questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, you're embarrassing me.
You do. You have the best questions.
Thank you.
I feel like that's another thing that humanity is trying to navigate is the concept of healing, because I think for in a lot of ways it's been really cliche. We talk about healing all the time, or self-love is kind of like a catchphrase that's thrown around a lot, but we don't talk about the core of it, And to me, healing is a journey. It's a lifelong process. I don't find for people that there's really like a specific period or an end to the healing process, because we have micro traumas that we deal with on a daily basis. We have capital T traumas we deal with throughout life. Those are like the big monumental traumas that really have a significant impact on the rest of our lives, right? So, so I really see healing as learning how to manage the symptoms that come up from trauma on a daily basis, and as a lifelong process. Not you're healed,
I definitely, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. Are there other things that you do besides the art therapy and writing and painting? Do you use scents and flowers and, things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. In kind of all aspects of my business, I love talking about essential oils and plant medicine, because I have found that it adds another layer to the healing process, and that people gain a lot of inspiration from nature, and that nature has a lot to offer us. So, I'll often talk with clients about, what essences they can pull into their daily life, or essential oils that they can pull into their daily life that can really help them. Lavender tends to be a big one that people gravitate towards because it has so many benefits.
That's a relaxing scent, correct?
Yeah. Super relaxing. It also has lots of skin soothing properties. So it's good to use on minor burns and scratches and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, you had mentioned bringing in nature and things like that as and scents and things as a part of healing. Today I brought in sunflowers because I know that you love sunflowers. Yeah. Can you explain to our viewers why sunflowers are so special to you? Yeah.
So for those of you that might be familiar with the chakra system, are you familiar with the chakra system?
A little bit.
Yeah. So the solar plexus is like basically above our belly button, and chakras are energy centers.
So my stomach growling is not the soul.
I know, my stomach's growling too. So that, if you think about the name of that being the solar plexus, sol means sun, solar rays, right? Think of that phrase. So sunflowers are in the flower world are connected to the solar plexus, and when you look at them, like, you can't help but think about how sunny they are and how vibrant they are, and in the chakra world, we see the solar plexus as the place from which we manifest, from which we take action or inspired action, right? Like you doing this amazing TV show, like that took some manifesting on your part. So that's why I love sunflowers too, because they're connected to that place.
You know, it's funny you say that. When I went most recently on vacation out of the country to Europe, it was amazing. But they have tons and tons of sunflower fields. And I noticed that the sunflowers, when the sun starts to set, they all come together. They all literally, the sunflowers face each other.
Wow.
And miles and miles and miles, that's all you see when the sun starts setting, is the sunflowers come together. I thought that was incredible.
That is super incredible.
Yeah,
I
was like, wow, it's so beautiful. I thought that was incredible. So I understand through your journeys that you wrote a book.
Yes.
And I have it right here. You can see that. There it is. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the book?
Sure.
And how it came about?
Yeah. So I'm 35, and by the age of
No, you don't look a day over 20.
Thank you. And by the age of 35, I found myself very close to two significant national tragedies. I was a block away from the Boston Marathon bombing when that happened, and experienced, hearing the bomb, feeling the earth shake, seeing the crowd running.
You were actually there?
I was at a restaurant right by the finish line.
Oh my God.
And then 2 years ago, I found myself a block away from the mass shooting in Las Vegas at the concert. We were at a hotel that was about a block away. And so...
oh my God.
Yeah. And so, I began with the question, why me, in the sense of feeling kind of victimized. Why me? Like, why by 35 have I been through two of these national tragedies? And then as I started to go through my healing process and think more about the spiritual aspect of that, I thought the why me victim feeling changed into why me as in, what do I need to share with the world from this experience, and how do I step into that inspired action? And so I decided to write a book and talk about the themes of healing through national tragedy, and talk about the arts, and obviously writing being a huge component of expressive arts. Writing the book was really healing for me as well. So each chapter has, a piece of artwork that I created from my own healing journey. There's a lot of psychoeducation around trauma in general, a lot about the chemistry and biology of the body through trauma, because, we have the fight, flight, freeze response with trauma that happens a lot, and all of the chemicals that come up in the body. So essentially, when you're in a really significant traumatic moment where you feel like you're having a life or death experience, a near-death experience, that you're flooded with a lot of chemicals that either tell your body to fight, to run, which is flight, or to freeze. And a lot of people, society doesn't talk about freeze a lot. We don't talk about the fact that these chemicals can literally paralyze people in the moment. And so I talk a lot about the chemical component of trauma and how to help your mind and your body, because so much of this is chemical based too, work through that. So, wow. So each chapter is a theme of healing around that. And then I also interviewed 6 other individuals that have been very close to national tragedy as well. One person was involved in 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
I also interviewed people from the marathon bombing and the Vegas shooting as well. And so pieces of their story are included in this as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful. I love the title, We're Going to Be All Right. How did you come up with that?
So I'm laughing because it has to do with Jennifer Lopez.
I'm sorry?
I know. Super random.
I never thought you'd say that.
I know. Most people don't. So
well, surprise,
we
surprise.
went to Vegas to see her. She had a residency in Vegas, and my high school friends and I had been lifelong J-Lo fans. Just really loved her super positive attitude and her humbleness, and yet, you know, she can still throw on an amazing outfit and look fabulous at 50.
Know.
You know, and so we were like, we have to go see her. This is a once in a lifetime experience. So that's actually why we went to Vegas in the first place.
Oh.
And so she has a song called I'm Gonna Be All Right. And so as I was thinking about this book and wanting to title it, and also kind of thank her for the experience, because in a lot of ways this has brought really amazing things to my life in the aftermath, right? I titled it "We're Gonna Be All Right."
That's fantastic. So, is that you on the cover?
It is, yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could tell.
Had shorter hair then.
How long did it take you to write this book?
So the skeleton of it took me about 3 months. It was something that I just felt like had to come out of me. I don't know another way to describe it other than it just needed to get out of me. And so it literally took me 3 months. And I remember I called my parents and said, I'm going to write this in 3 months. And they both kind of giggled and were like, okay, you know, not in a bad way, but just, okay, Leah, 3 months. And, and of course, like the fear of actually publishing it, and the fear of telling my story, and the fear of also having the privilege of honoring 6 other interviewees. And that was a much longer process.
I was just going to say, all that took you 3 months? Mm-hmm. You're pretty talented.
No.
Wow.
So the whole process took about 2 years, maybe a year and 8 months. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And when you finally got it finished, is the book available? If people are interested, and how can people purchase your book?
If they go to Amazon.com and just type in my full name, Leah Constance, then that should be the only book that pops up. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I mean, it's an incredible story. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, in your years of doing art therapy, how has it helped you helping others? You know, when you get a satisfaction of when you do something because it makes you feel good.
Oh, yeah.
In helping other people. Does it help you?
Mm-hmm. Tremendously.
How does it help you?
Oh, in so many ways. I actually do talk a little bit about that in the book, that I think we're always vacillating between the healer and healing. Even though I don't necessarily call myself a healer, just thinking about it in the context of healing, right? That we, there are days that I still feel really triggered by these experiences, construction noise often is a big trigger for me because it sounds like a bomb going off sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
Yeah. So, I still experience stuff like that on a daily basis. And then to be able to use tools that I teach other people to help myself in the moment, and then be able to take that in and teach someone else, another client that I'm with that's experiencing something like that, and I tell a lot of people this, like, we often learn to help others because of our own experiences. It's just knowing when you're ready to do that, so that, you're, so that, the time that you're with clients is sacred to them, that you're not bringing your own story into session, because otherwise that makes it about you, right? So you have to learn that dynamic a bit. But I definitely think we're always vacillating between healing and healer.
Yeah. Do you have a big support system in what you do? What's your support system like?
Yeah. So I have an office mate who's also a therapist. So we meet once a week.
And where's your office located?
It's in Somerville. Yep. So we meet once a week and we talk about these things and process our experiences together as therapists and our own personal experiences. I also am in therapy myself. I think that a lot of people think that therapists are perfect. They have everything together and and that's just not the case. We need just as much support as other people, So I have my own therapist. I do a lot of my own artwork and my own projects,
Excuse me. I understand you have contact information, email. If you would like to contact Leah and learn more about what she offers, and the email is up on the screen. There it is. Thank you very much. And contact phone number.
Yep.
They can contact you and they'll learn more I suggest you check it out and learn more about it. It's what she has to offer is very helpful. I know firsthand. I like to, at this time, I like to give my guests a gift. And as to say thank you and a little appreciation. And Stand Strong is a positive show. And all the stories such as yours is sharing a positive light. And so I'd like to start, and you would be the first, to give you this candle with the Stand Strong logo on it and spread the light.
Thank you.
So I'd like to give you that and say thank you so much. Thank you for being a guest on our show.
Thank you.
And
Love it.
sharing your amazing story and your the importance of healing and where it starts, and it starts from within, and the importance of art. Do you have anything that you would like to share further with our guests? A final thought of positivity?
Oh, so many. But I think the biggest thing that I want to share is just to be yourself, you know? And again, it sounds so cliche, but I cannot tell you the number of times that that I hear from people that there are moments in their daily lives where they're really pulled out of that, where they feel like they can't fully be themselves. So even finding 5 minutes in your day where you can just be present with you and your story is pretty critical. So whether that's through meditation or taking a walk or whatever, you know, just finding a moment where you can really be you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so, your message in what you do is so important, especially in a world today where it could be so much, it's so difficult because the world around us can be so negative. And sometimes we can lose sight of ourselves.
Yep.
And what we believe in. So what you offer and what you do is so very important. And I thank you so much for it. Because it helps bring back and helps people realize that they are very valuable and what they feel is very valuable and very special. So thank you so very much for coming on and sharing the importance of what you do. And for you viewers at home, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. And remember, you're very special. Everything about you is special. And if you need to, every day, look in the mirror, because the only person that you should care about what they think and feel is the one looking back in the mirror. Remember to always stand strong. Till next time.